Well, in Australia, with a lot of effort and government quick to close our borders, coronavirus is taking a different trajectory here than it's taken overseas. Sadly for Britain, fatalities have continued to climb, with another 861 deaths recorded overnight. The country's National Health Service has been stretched to breaking point as they try and handle an influx of patients. Sadly, a number of NHS staff too have lost their lives, and support for these healthcare workers has been a feature of some very moving moments in Britain in recent times. The Prime Minister's comments and, of course, the Queen, we've covered both of them here. But as good as they might have been at capturing the British mood, they've been eclipsed by this man. Captain Tom Moore, a 99-year-old veteran who served in India and Burma in the Second World War. He's not going to let age be a barrier, is he? He's stepped up to help those working on the front line in the most extraordinary way.
The coronavirus crisis is one of the worst catastrophes of our time. Mass death, unnerving economic calamity, and hospital systems under immense pressure. From hoarding toilet paper to crowding public places, it's easy to look around and see how COVID-19 has brought out the worst in people. But in every moment of darkness, there are countless moments of light. Take Captain Tom Moore, a British war veteran on a mission. The 99-year-old pledged to walk 100 lengths of his backyard before he turns 100 at the end of the month. His initial aim to raise £1,000, all in the name of Britain's National Health Service. But with the aid of a walking frame, Tom completed the challenge yesterday, well ahead of his milestone birthday, saluted by soldiers from the Yorkshire Regiment.
There he is. Congratulations. Well done.
Smashing his original goal after an incredible 830,000 people donated online. The figure? 33 million Australian dollars and counting.
Who would ever have thought that something like this would happen from a little family joke for £200,000?
Messages of congratulations have poured in from politicians, celebrities, and even the royal family, while a petition for him to receive a knighthood has gone viral.
They're getting behind me, but really we're getting behind our National Health Service and all the backers up of those people, because they're doing such a magnificent job.
Just as everyone needed a hero, it seems we've found one.
Joining me now, Captain Tom Moore, live from the United Kingdom with his daughter, Hannah Ingram Moore. Great to have you on the show. You have been an inspiration, I know, not only in your own country, but right around the world here in Australia. There's not much hope out there, not many light stories, and yours is a terrific inspirational story, Captain Moore. What inspired you to get out in your backyard and raise this extraordinary sum of money?
I can say that because I've had such marvellous service from our National Health Services. I broke my hip and I had cancer in my head, and the service I got from our service was absolutely phenomenal, and at no time could I find any reason to complain, because they're so cheerful, they're so kind, and at the moment they're all being so brave, because every day they're putting themselves in danger from this unseen enemy that we've got at the moment.
You've really struck a chord in Australia. I know that people are finding the social distancing and all the restrictions tough. You know, right around the world there's been complaints about having to stay home and stand back from your job. You have said, though, take heart, this will pass. And I think there's something inspirational. You and Her Majesty as well, that wartime generation, you've seen tough times, you've seen times where we haven't had much hope and we've come out of them. I think that's been your message that's really resonated.
So you and the Queen have given messages of things will get better, there's hope, and to stay resolute. People around the world are finding it so difficult to be isolated. And what you've been able to do is along with that World War II rhetoric is to keep calm, carry on, tomorrow will be a better day. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I certainly can, because I've always believed that things will get better, and there's no doubt that the present time it's very difficult. It's very difficult for an awful lot of people who are condemned into a very small space. We've got what's called lock-in, and people can't walk out very far, and it must be very hard for them to have to keep in. But they're doing that, and I must say, well done to them, because things will certainly get better. They will say, without any doubt whatsoever. If you remember, in the wartime, things were bad, but eventually the things did get better. We fought on and we won.
There's talk that you may well get a knighthood. I know that you'd normally expect a letter from the Queen for your birthday on the 30th of April when you turn 100 years of age. Could there be something more?
There's been talk of a knighthood. Normally you get a letter from the Queen on your birthday. Could there be something more?
I don't think so. I think the idea is very, very nice, but I don't think for a minute it will happen. But I must say that Sir Thomas More sounds lovely, but don't hold your breath until that happens.
I think that's a very humble Yorkshireman there speaking. Hannah, I've got to ask you, have you been just blown away by the interest in your dad, but I guess also how much he has touched people around the world?
Yes, absolutely. It's only 10 days since we were sitting in our garden and Tom was walking down the driveway, and we said, well, we'll give you £1 for every length of the driveway that you walk before your 100th birthday for fun, and let's give the money to charity. And he said, well, I'll walk 100 lengths then, and we must give the money to the NHS. So the very next day, this is I think like the 6th or the 7th of April, we set up the JustGiving page and set ourselves a heady height target of £1,000. And listen, £1,000 can do tremendous things, right? And then very quickly we thought, could we crazily get to £5,000 by the end of the month? We're talking about the end of the month. And then we picked up some local interest and some national interest. And I think the rest, we know that what we did was we had a gem of a story and a gem of a man, and we shared that. And the British public took it to their hearts. We said a few days ago, this story is much, much bigger than us now. This is about being a beacon of hope in a world that is really struggling. And that message has gone out on a global basis. And we recognise that, and we're so grateful to everyone for their support, and we humbly take it.
We've watched, obviously, how tough things have been in the United Kingdom. We all watched and prayed for your Prime Minister as he looked like he was doing okay with coronavirus, but then obviously was admitted to hospital and now thankfully is on the mend. Tom Moore, how is the mood in Britain? You've seen a lot of trouble in your life. How is the mood today?
So you've seen a lot of trouble in your life, and of course the Prime Minister was very poorly, but he's thankfully back at home and recovering. What do you feel is the mood in the country, in the United Kingdom now?
I think that the country as a whole is finding it very difficult, but I think they can all, with distance, they can see probably the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to be very hard until we get there, but we will get there. There is no doubt at the end of the day we will have won this unseen enemy.
You've got to love that British stoicism, I have to say. We've all been saying in Australia, keep calm and carry on as well. What are you going to do for your birthday?
What are you going to do for your birthday?
It's hard to say, but I hope that I shall be here. I'm going in. The family will have a little birthday party. Unfortunately, we can't have a big one because people are not allowed to mix, and we couldn't have a lot of people here. We can have a little party with the family safely here, and we can all hope and expect that soon everyone outside will be able to enjoy their own party, and we can have a big party to enjoy the fact that we've won this battle against the unseen enemy, as we always do. We always win. And if you remember, with Australia, you always helped us when we were in need. You came, all your brave Australian people came to the aid of the Europeans and the British, as we are. I mean, the Australians are such a magnificent people to support such causes.
Just before we go, I have to ask you, when you were in the Second World War, serving for Britain, you went to India and Burma, I'm told. Did you ever get down as far as Australia?
Did you ever manage to get to Australia in your life?
No, I didn't, unfortunately, because you have got such beautiful country, and your beaches are just absolute worlds. I mean, I just keep looking at all the marvellous golden beaches that you have all around Australia, and I'm very envious.
Well, we're very thankful for you. You've cheered us all up enormously. We're watching you with interest. I know anyone watching tonight will wish you all the very best for your birthday in a couple of weeks' time. And keep calm and carry on. That's your message. We'll all abide by it here. Tom Wall, Captain Tom Wall, thank you very much for your time tonight, and great to meet you too, Hannah.
And you too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very kind of you.
How gorgeous is that man? Extraordinary. 35 million Australian dollars, nearly 18 million pound.